All right, I think we're good. Welcome. Okay, we're so excited to have a few minutes of your time. Thank you so much for listening in. And there's a few of us coaches here that want to share a bit about our story, how we got started, and then we want to inform you. You're here because you're interested. You've been watching, one of us share our journey on social media or you in person, and we want to share with you how this all works and how it's blessed our lives, and let you see maybe a little bit of yourself in our stories and see if this could be something that could bless you too. So to kick off, we are going to share some slides. Okay, share screen. Share. There we go. Okay. We're going to go back to the first slide. Hang on. All right. So what is coaching? All right. So I'm Rebecca. I'm going to put this down here so we can see. I started coaching. It's been 4.5 years ago. It's crazy. And what I needed that I didn't realize on my journey as a mother was a plan overall. I needed a game plan for what I could do to feel energy, to feel connected, to feel strong, to just be the best mom and wife that I could be. So that's where I was when I started. Beforehand, I have a background of being a nurse and love being active. So I had run some marathons. I graduated nursing school, was feeling really good. I had kind of accomplished, a good amount of things. A lot of times we go through life and we think, okay, graduate high school, I'm going to go into college, get a degree, start my career, get married, have children, those kind of checkbox things. And for me, I had gotten to the point where I graduated with my nursing degree. I was working as a nurse full-time nights, and my husband was working toward his undergrad. And we had a lot of schooling ahead for him. And I got to the point where it was kind of like, okay, this should be awesome. Like I've made it to this point where like I should be fulfilled. And I loved what I did, but I knew there was more. And I wanted to discover what that was. So was it a hobby? Was it more education, and so I just remember this feeling of knowing that I was made for more and not knowing what it was. And it bothered me a little bit. And I saw in my husband, his pursuing different passions throughout his undergrad. And then, we moved, he did his master's and I helped support him. We brought at that point 2 kids while he was in his master's degree, moved, got him to his job. I had my 3rd baby. And I still had that feeling all the way through this time. And I sat down one night, having realized that I'd been watching a friend from high school rock her journey, her health journey, and she had made this opportunity into a business that was bringing in an income to her family, and it was blessing them tremendously. And I finally got to this point where, after watching and wondering and just being in this kind of questioning myself kind of state, I thought, why not me? If I can see her doing this, I have a passion for health. As a nurse, I really, love helping people on the preventative side of healthcare. I thought, why not me? I'm just going to start. And at the time I was postpartum, my 3rd baby, I needed something from me too, to help me kick off my journey. So I signed up for a 21-day program. I started feeling amazing. And I started doing the things that coaches do just because that was a part of my growth, growing my mindset and starting to eat better. I had more energy for my patients in the hospital. I started becoming a better nurse. I started prioritizing myself instead of give my whole shift and then have 2 hours of charting at the end. I started just managing my time in a way that was so refreshing and revitalized me. And I realized that other women needed this too. So I started running groups that were based on the things that I was learning. So that's kind of how it started for me. And I've been 4.5 years in. It's been able to be something that a 1.5 years ago, I stopped my nursing job, and I've been able to continue just with coaching from home in the cracks of motherhood. And especially during a pandemic, what a blessing to help people get healthy. And for me, not to have to worry about being in the hospital setting with what's going on there right now. So I'm so grateful for coaching and what it's done for me. And it's been a platform to help me on my journey and to help bless others. So with that, I will kick it off to Sarah.
Mommy. Hey, what's up, team? Just a heads up. Yeah, we on the picture. I want you to focus on the bottom girl, because never in my life would I think that someone would follow a 210 bipolar toddler mom who is extremely depressed and extremely in a funk. And it just doesn't seem like you should start a business adventure when your life, it seems like it's crumbling like around you. And quite honestly, I don't think I would have kept 45 pounds off of my body and launched my entire mental health out of the pit of hell without a coaching community. Like, can we just talk about how a life can be transformed with a whole new group of people that you surround yourself with? So that's what I want to talk about. Yes, there's a compensation plan, but I think this is like a term coined by a couple of coaches. It's a personal development plan with a comp plan attached to it. So it's a little tweaked. I have a very stressful life, but I don't really like to show it. I like to stuff it down, and I like to work it out in the gym. And sometimes my body likes to cope with eating. So I've worked through a couple things. Why I needed coaching was I need massive accountability of my health. I needed massive changes from the inside out, and I just didn't find it here at the YMCA. I just didn't find it with going to my garage gym. My husband could write me workouts, but he couldn't get inside of my brain and break through and shake me and tell me that like you are worth it, because I was like, you're just being a nice husband. So really, coaching was just the launching pad to challenge me enough to say, someone out there. So Adrienne, Rachel, and I believe Whitney's on here, and a couple other girls, someone is you at your chapter 1. And Kirsten, someone is you waiting for you to show up and lead them. And coaching is just 1 millimeter ahead of that person. You're looking at chapter 10 on the top page. You're looking at a girl who is just really raging against the machine of saying no more to the bipolar girl, no more to the devil inside of her that was trying to keep her down. Okay, it's out. Okay, I'm not gonna say devil, but like it's out. It's gone. So coaching has erased negativity. It has eradicated a lot of self-doubt and image issues. It is giving the tools to equip women. And that's the superpower of coaching, is that you don't have to recreate the wheel. You don't have to create the meal plans. You don't have to put up a brick and mortar business, but it lays on you to show up and do the work and then show the path for someone else. So I'm going to toss it on to Autumn, I believe, who's the next girl. Oh, she is with a baby. I hope she's not nursing and she can talk. If not, Debbie can go. There she is. What's up, girl? I'm so excited.
Hey guys. So, my name is Autumn Harris. I've been coaching since 2018, and I am currently rocking a baby. So that's why I'm rocking back and forth. I've got a almost 2-month-old newborn. So my coaching story. So when I went into coaching, it was really for my own benefit, if you will. I started back with Beachbody in 2018 because I was struggling desperately with my nutrition. So I had been a yo-yo dieter for almost a decade. I had gained and lost the same 10 to 20 pounds over and over again, and I was extremely frustrated. Um, I I was that girl that would look in the mirror and just be completely disgusted with the way that my body looked, the way that I felt, be very disappointed with myself that I could not, keep this weight off. And, basically what I would do is I would get on, one of these fad diets, if you will, one of the more kind of extreme diets where I was cutting out entire food groups, going on juice cleanses where I was eating or drinking only juice for weeks at a time. And then I would lose the weight. And then, of course, as soon as it was off, I would feel great. I would go back to my old lifestyle. And then I would gain that weight right back. And so, what I really needed was something that was going to teach me how to keep that weight off and how to lose it in a healthy way and how to feel good. I needed something that was going to shift my focus. Okay. So that's really where coaching comes into play. I started with the 2B Mindset Nutrition Program in 2018. I lost that weight and I lost it in a healthy way. And I was able to tackle my emotional eating problems that I didn't even realize that I had. Once I realized what an amazing feeling all of that was when I decided, okay, I want to help other women who are struggling with the same thing as I am do this same thing. That's what led me into coaching. Another thing is I knew that I wanted to keep this weight off and I wanted to be able to continue to live this lifestyle. And I knew that I needed the accountability coaching to help me do that. The accountability of other people, other coaches that were, holding my hand, if you will, and supporting me the entire time. But not only that, when you decide that you're going to start a business, that ups the ante on your accountability too. And so for me, making this a business, making this healthy lifestyle a business really held me to, okay, I need to eat well. I need to follow my nutrition plan. I need to do my workouts. I need to do all of those things because not only I'm not just doing it for my own health, I'm doing it for my business. I'm doing it for the other coaches that are relying on me also. So accountability was a huge, huge thing. And with that being said, you guys, I don't want that to come across as because you start a business and because you're a coach, everything has to be perfect. It doesn't mean that my nutrition is perfect, not by any means. It doesn't mean that I don't still have treats. It doesn't mean that I don't fall off of my nutrition plan. All of those things still hold true. I'm not perfect. And I think what Sarah said earlier about, there are going to be people that will meet you exactly where you're at. That rings true you're in the entire time. That rings true no matter where you're at on your journey, whether you're starting, whether you're somewhere in the middle, whether you're at your perfect goal weight that you always wanted to be at. There's always going to be somebody there that you're going to be able to help based on where you're at in your journey. And that's why it's so important that there are so many different coaches, right? Because I'm in a completely different place in my journey than Sarah is. And Sarah's in a completely different place in her journey than Rebecca is. And Whitney's in a different place in her journey than Kirsten is, right? So everybody's in such a different place in our own journeys. We're able to help completely different people. I know that sometimes, sometimes people who are thinking about coaching think, well, there's so many different coaches. Why is anybody ever, and Sarah alluded to this too, why is anybody ever going to want to coach with me when there's all of these other people who are, quote unquote, perfect or at their perfect places in their journey? Well, you guys, there's somebody who's at that place that you're at right now in your journey that needs you. They need you to tell your story. They need to hear where you're at because they can relate to you. They might not be able to relate to me because I'm in a totally different place in my journey. So, you guys, if nothing else, and one thing that I definitely want to mention is one of my goals with coaching was So I work full-time as a veterinarian, and don't ever intend to not work full-time as a veterinarian. But when I started coaching, I knew that we were going to be starting a family in the next few years. And I wanted the opportunity to be able to stay home as long as I wanted with my baby. And she was born 6 weeks early, was spent some time in the NICU. And I'm now in a position because of coaching that I can stay home with her as long as I want. My goal isn't to stay home forever with her, but I don't have any rush where I absolutely have to go back to work, which works out really well because since she was born early. So the thing about coaching, you guys, is that you can make it whatever you want it to be. You make it a full-time career, you can make it a part-time career, you can make it where it's just for your own accountability. It can literally be anything that you want. So, okay, with that, I'm going to move on to Deb.
Yep. So Deb, I'm going to stop my share really quick. Pause share. Let's see. Stop share.
Do we want to ask for any questions? Does anyone have any questions?
Let's see.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I think my hardest thing is just inconveniencing people. Just like throwing it on them, I guess, if that makes sense. And like maybe rejection is what I'm kind of nervous about, because I did try like, hey, I'm starting a new fitness, like on my Instagram and stuff. And I got a couple people, and then I kind of told them about it, and they're like, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to like ruin any friendships or anything like that. I don't know. It sounds dumb, but yeah, maybe just like rejection and just putting myself out there even is hard for me to do. Because I usually don't put stuff like about my weight or anything like that, exercising or anything on social media. It's just kind of my family and stuff. So I don't know. So that's maybe a question, or what do you suggest, I guess?
Yeah,
I
that's
can
a great
answer little
question.
bit.
Do you want to share, Sarah?
Yeah. So one thing, a coach who is the top coach in the network just shared. This is a person, let's talk about this because it's recorded. Beachbody does not guarantee your income, is guaranteed by the lives you help and how hard you work. She didn't want to do Facebook. She went straight to her cold market on Instagram because she was like, I don't want to invite my family, friends. Vulnerability begets vulnerability. And all I think of is if I didn't get a text message in 2019, I would still have a nanny taking care of my daughter, replacing me, and I'd still be miserable, wouldn't be able to go on trips to snowboard with my family, and I'd still be depressed and not wanting to have sex with my husband. If someone is feeling that right now, and I can heal a marriage because I invited them and shared my journey, I'm going to do it. And my heart beats so fast when I write certain things, but it takes time. And you're looking at our chapter 10. And here's my question. When you get fear, like, remember the first time, I don't know if you have a husband, you slept with your husband. Weren't you scared as balls to take off your pants and sleep with him? But wasn't it the best thing ever? And you're like, I trust fall, I did it, and it was great. So everything on the other side of fear is the best thing ever. Fear is your green light to go. And if you embrace fear, an entrepreneur sees fear and just like eats it up. And it takes a little bit of bite at a time. So here's the thing though, there's different trainings and different mindset things that our team specifically has paid for that talks about exactly what you're struggling with. And we have a professional that Micah Folsom, our lead coach, paid for that talks about rejection, which talks about how do you put yourself out there and why should you put yourself out there? But my question is, what if Rebecca, who is your girl, right? What if she never posted? What if she never put herself out there and said, hey, what if I didn't put, Rachel, what if I never posted? Huh? Would you still be using canes? I want to talk to Rachel later. Who would you be?
Sorry, I clicked on the wrong button. Yeah, I would totally be like slow moving around my house, not being able to chase after my children. And I put it in the chat too, but I had the hardest time with rejection as well. Because I am a people pleaser, and I didn't want to, like you mentioned, ruin any relationships. But then I've learned through a lot of you wonderful coaches that it's would be that you're hold on please. Anyways, I would be another person for sure, and I would not be able to homeschool my kiddos or be able to bless other people by offering. There's lots of little free things you can offer too to keep rapport with people. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just say that's an awesome question. And I had similar reservations. And I think what combats that for me is just being so into my journey. And when I share from a place of authenticity, like I'm feeling so good, like, and share from that place, it doesn't have to put someone off or inconvenience someone. You just continue to share. And still 4.5 years in, the other day I posted a transformation picture from the previous time I had done a program, offered, an opportunity to do it with me again. 0 likes and comments. But that doesn't define me anymore. That would have crushed me before, probably. But I know that is part of the process. Like when you just see it as something that you are committed to the lifestyle and you want to, that you will find people, because I've found people. Sometimes social media is hard, and that's okay. And you, like Sarah said, you don't have to go to the people that are scariest at first. You can just start sharing your journey. And sometimes it's like a friend of a friend, or someone who you haven't touched base with for a while, who sees your thing, your post, and maybe they're ready. So everyone's timing is different, but you just get to lead with your example. And the personal development piece is huge to help through that. And that's what helps us grow when we can overcome those challenges that come with this, because there are, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Like we know, it's digging deep and finding more of a story. It's not just a health story. Like Sarah, she highlights her mental health hardcore. And that's been huge. And she has people who come to her because they need healing internally. They're not maybe looking for a 50-pound weight loss, but they need healing and they see it in her. And so sharing from where you are and just knowing there are people who are right where you are, that's power. It's an awesome question. All right. Well, how should we keep going? We've got some slides that we could share. Do we have more questions?
Really
I
good
can
one.
answer. There's a question in the chat here about, so I'm not sure who this is, but you're talking about another MLM company, and how you kind of had dealt with that with your boss, and then not wanting your boss to think that you're slacking at work and doing this on work time. So what I would say to that is, first of all, is there an echo on anybody else's end? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So what I would say is you don't have to do this job on your work time. So, as a full-time veterinarian, I am rarely working on anything coaching or Beachbody when I'm at work. So I work roughly 35 to 40 hours a week, sometimes more than that, because I also take on call. So some weeks it can be more like 45 to 50 hours a week. And it's a rare day that I'm doing anything coaching when I'm actually at work, because that just isn't possible. I'm really, really busy there. So I oftentimes don't have time to sit down. I usually can't be on my phone very much. I mean, maybe during a lunch break. But as far as like working during my other work hours, that doesn't happen. So what I have learned to do, you guys, is just prioritize my time so that, you know, I'm working on my coaching business before I go to work, on a lunch break if I get a lunch break, when I get home from work. But you guys, I'm still only working on this business an hour a day, maybe. You guys have to think about it. If you can take if you can take 3 20-minute time chunks in your day, then you've worked on this business an hour. You just have to sit down and be intentional for those 20 minutes every single time. So don't feel like you have to use this business and try to figure out how you're going to work this business while you're working your other job, while you're doing all of those other things. You just figure out how to make it work and how to fit it in the cracks. It might mean that you can't watch that 30-minute television show at night that you usually watch, or instead of watching TV for an hour and a half, you watch TV for an hour so you can have 30 minutes to work on your business. You know, for me, it means that I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's how I get everything done that I need to do, which also means that I go to bed between 8 and 9 at night. So you just figure out how you're going to make it work for your lifestyle, but don't think that you have to work this business while you're also, you know, working another job. It's completely doable, and you don't have to do it on your other job's time. And then as far as the comment that you made about your boss and that person's opinion about the other MLM company, what you're doing on your time away from work, that's definitely your time. So I certainly wouldn't let the fact that, you know, your boss or somebody else in your life thinks an MLM is a bad idea stir you away from it, because you have all of these other women and all of these other people who have seen success and talk so highly about what we're doing here with Beachbody. To me, if all of these other women are seeing success and all of these other women are taking time to talk about it and talk about their experiences, then there must be something good and wonderful about it. I know when I came into Beachbody, I had a previous bad experience with an MLM, and I was nervous about that. But I just looked at all of these other women who are already involved, and I thought, well, if they've done this and they've seen success and they're loving this, then there must be something to it. I should at least give it my best shot and go into it with an open mind. So, okay.
Yeah, and on that note, I think MLMs in general can get a bad rap, but I think when you understand that it is a respectable company and or a business plan, and that it has a compensation plan that is incredible, and ours specifically, I'd recommend looking just a little bit, asking some questions about the compensation plan, because with ours, it's if you think of like climbing the corporate ladder where you're first an employee and then, you know, you go up to like a manager and a CEO, I mean, those kind of steps, right? You're first working on you, and then you lead a group of people, and then you might, you know, get a promotion and lead a bigger group of people. That's what we get to do. That's the opportunity we have. And there is no, there's an opportunity for everyone. And it's not that it's a pyramid scheme. Sometimes that gets thrown around. A pyramid scheme is not what this is, because anyone can have the opportunity to grow. And so it's, you know, one of your leaders that's within your downline organization can surpass you in rank. And there are certain caps at certain levels, so that I can't benefit from all these worker bees that are in my organization if I'm not also working. So the way it works is based on leadership and growth and developing and cultivating a team and a community of people who are successful themselves. And it's very much not just an investment in you, it's an investment in the team and growing and learning together. So that's what I absolutely love. And beyond that, you get to choose who you work with. So that's exciting too. You get to choose your coworkers. You don't have to, you know, we all have worked with someone that we wouldn't have maybe chosen on our own. And so we get that opportunity to create people, or create a team of people who are like us. And that's the magic of sharing our journey, is that we attract people that are like us, that are in the throes of what we're going through too. So sharing and being authentic, and not like you have to share all your dirty laundry or anything, but being willing to be open about the struggles at each stage and the learning and the growth at each stage of your journey. There are people who will resonate with that, and that's kind of what you attract. So just wanted to put that out there, that it's a beautiful thing. And network marketing, I think, is coming around in the industry as more of a respectable opportunity, where if you think about it, just one more note, we're all selling something, whether it's something that you love, a product that you love, a lipstick, pants, like you're talking to your friends about it when you go out on, a girls' night, or, you're at a play date and you have this super awesome binky that your kid has, or whatever it is, like you're talking about things that you love. And this is just an opportunity to represent that in a way that can lead to an income opportunity as well. So just putting that out there. I love the Q&A. What other questions might you have if you're thinking about starting your journey, and any roadblocks or mindset things that come up? I think we'll take maybe a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. Does that sound good? Okay. Any other things that come to your mind? Looking through the chat, did anything get added? Trying to think of other common objections. Autumn, do you have any that come to your mind, or Sarah?
Yeah, I think for me is like, oh my God, I have to be professional at Reels. I do think that you have to be willing to put yourself out there, just baby steps. And that's the thing. You have a top 10, at least you have a very experienced leader, and we're very highly ranked. You have to like trust that if a mom who has zero experience in this can do this and make it work and so rapidly connect the dots. I mean, this business is Googleable. You do not have to really take and get a PhD in this. And if you want to connect with people and you want to help them and you want to learn more about how you want to get to know humans and how they make decisions, and you really know how to, you don't need 16,000 followers like Sarah Myers. In fact, I was making more sales with 4,000 followers because I was just connecting rapidly and taking advantage of COVID and staying at home. And I was really honing in on relationships and wasn't distracted by social media. So don't let social media distract you. So I'm going to be brutally honest. Like, I have let things take my attention away from the root of networking. Networking at its root is connecting with people. So if that's at your core, and if you can spare an hour a day to connect with people, you're gonna go far.
So
Awesome.
Whitney asked in the chat, how do you not feel salesy when it comes down to discussing the price of it all, especially when you know someone's on a strict budget? So I think that really comes down to just really believing in the value of what we have to offer. So if you really think about, the average, challenge pack that we have to offer is, let's say, $160. Typically, sometimes they're a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, but $160 is about how much they usually run. And you guys, with that $160, you're getting thousands and thousands of workouts, access to live workouts with live trainers that have CPT, so certified personal trainers, NASM certified personal trainers. You have access to 2 different nutrition programs that you get access to for the rest of your life. And you, within those nutrition programs, there's information about how to eat during pregnancy. There's information about how to eat if you're wanting to build muscle, if you're wanting to lose weight, if you're just wanting to maintain. These are programs that you can use your entire life, no matter what stage of life you're in. You're getting the accountability of a group of people. You're getting help from your coach directly to help you with whatever you might need help with. If that's understanding the nutrition programs, understanding which one you should follow, if it's what workout program you should do. So you have direct one-on-one help from your coach, plus you get a month's worth of whatever supplements you're doing, and the supplements are amazing. So Shakeology, the Performance Line, whatever it is that you get in your package. So really understanding the value of what you're getting. There literally is no other offer out there like that. There isn't one at all. I mean, to get that kind of one-on-one attention would cost a person thousands and thousands of dollars in a month. Not to mention, if you're signing someone up as a coach, they also get access to Brad Bizjak's Mindset of Excellence training, which that in itself is worth that I'm talking $20,000 to $40,000 worth of coaching on mindset specifically. So that's how you take away that salesy feeling, is you just really talk up the value, and you yourself have to understand the value. And the thing about it is if somebody is on a strict budget and they truly can't afford it, then maybe they can save. Work with them, find out if you can what their situation is, and maybe they can't afford it this month, but maybe they can put back $40 a month until they have enough to buy it. You know, try to help them so that they can get the information. I was going to say something else and then I lost it. But anyway, so what it all comes down to is just understanding the value and talking with somebody and making sure that you're making sure that they understand what the value is of what they're getting. So hopefully, does that answer your question, Whitney?
I just wanted to jump on that really quick. There's some core kind of things that we talk about that coaches do. And one of them, first and foremost, is being proof the product works. And so that goes into what Autumn's saying. When you understand the value of what you are receiving, and then using it and sharing about it, like that is the most authentic way to, it's really about sharing. It's not about selling. And that's where I was so hesitant to do anything like this. And I had said no to other opportunities because I never wanted to sell anything. People were always going to be sick, and I'd always have a job as a nurse. Never had to put myself out there, never had to represent a product or anything. But after I started seeing how this changed my life and started sharing that in the slow little drops daily, I realized it really wasn't about selling. It was really about sharing. So I think having that mindset, and again, our trainings with our mindset coach are incredible to help overcome those kind of hurdles in your brain that feel like, okay, well, I've always been taught that selling is icky, or I'm going to be bugging people if I sell, or, you know, and it's tweaking it to how has my life improved from this? And how can I share that with a mom or a person in my situation who could benefit from this too? So there you go.
Can I just touch on a little bit on what Autumn was saying? Like, I know we probably have to wrap up. This time is precious to everyone, especially the recording. People watching the recording. I had acid reflux from choosing to indulge in my stress, indulge food-wise. I got acid reflux and GERD 2 weeks after I turned 30. And I went to the ER because I thought I was dying. I know I have insurance. Not everyone does. But the insurance bill from all the scans and meds they gave me was $12,000. And also long-term, I have a client and customer and coach who takes blood pressure medication. There are so many things that stress and emotional eating and things that happen that cost a lot of money with medicine, with medical treatment. You were a nurse, you were an RN, Rebecca. I'm looking straight at you because you're on my phone. So if you could dish out a challenge pack, which breaks down to $13.50-ish a month, or if you could just spend $5 a day or $3.50 if you're a coach on Shakeology and get superfoods and change your lifestyle, I think you're preventing heart disease, you're preventing high blood pressure, diabetes, like there are so much long-term things Americans in general don't think about, that this isn't a fad. Healthy living isn't a fad anymore, guys. It's not about your waistband anymore. It is about saving lives. To me, that's my mission, is to save women from the things that are basically have slowly been killing me on the inside. So I had scarring from my acid reflux, like scarring, legit scarring. So that's my case. I just want to like hone in on the value, that the thing that you might be preventing when you invite someone. Think about what you could prevent and the care. You actually care about someone when you personally invite them. When you say, "Hey Whitney, how are you? Scale 1 to 10. How's your sleep?" Sleep can tell you so much about a person, and then you can get into nutrition, then you can get into exercise. Guys, it is beyond. I can keep talking, but cut me off, guys. I'll let you guys finish. But the price, to me, I will throw my credit card at this lifestyle before I experience what I did down the street at this hospital, and I was dying. And all the nausea and pain meds did not take care of it that night. I had to power through it even with it. So baloney, 12K didn't do me anything.
I love it. And as you can see, we are so different. I would never say what Sarah said today on camera, but she's sassy. She brings the fire. We got Autumn, who's a full-time vet who never wants to quit, loves her passion. And me as a stay-at-home mom, nurse, and just there's so much depth in you. And we want you through our stories to see the depth that you have, to see that your struggles and your pain points are the exact things that you need to use and grow through to help your friend. And it is magical how that happens when you can turn your struggles and challenges into relatable common threads and share those in a way that you feel good about, to connective tissue to those who you can serve and bless in whatever way, whether it's a transaction or not. We're more about the transformation than a transaction. And so I hope you see yourself in this and see that your superpower is your story, and that you have something to share, that you can use this platform of resources and tools to equip another person in your situation, and then lock arms and do it together. And that is so rewarding and magical when you can find women, in my case, women who are going through similar things and relate and do life together. It makes things so much more rewarding. So with that, we hope that you enjoyed kind of hearing a little bit as we talked Q&A style. That was kind of our plan, was to go more into slides, but I think this was really helpful to just go through some objections and kind of work with you through mindset things. And so from here, follow back up with the coach who invited you to watch this, and we will be so excited to welcome you. Those of you who want to jump on by Saturday night, we have a team tank that we're going to provide for you. Every Friday, we do a tag your teammate kind of thing. And we are all part of Team Inspiration. And we have a mission to help women and help people live fulfilling, healthy lives. So if you join by Saturday, we're giving a team tank to you for jumping in, for overcoming that initial hurdle that we all experience, and putting the objections aside and trusting and believing in this process, and knowing that you have exactly what it takes to become an amazing mentor, amazing coach, and to continue to rock your journey. So with that, thanks for your time, and we will see you on the other end. Bye.